Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is now just a little under 6 months away from its official release date by director J.J. Abrams, that is all set and ready to offer many different twists and turns that will lead to saga-wide implications in this story. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. So what's really exciting about Episode 9 is that we do know that this movie is going to be a film that's not just going to be the culmination of the Skywalker saga, but a film in and on itself that's going to literally change the Skywalker saga before our very own eyes upon seeing this movie come December of this year. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very intriguing, involving the characters of Luke Skywalker, the Dark Prince, and even Rey. Now, specifically, what's really exciting about all of this is that a description of Rey, Finn, and Poe Dameron traveling to the exotic city where it's described that they eventually reach the palace of the Dark Prince, who holds a connection to the First Order. It's described that Rey, Poe, and Finn go here to discover secrets of the First Order when meeting the Dark Prince. It's said that upon meeting the Dark Prince, he brings up Luke Skywalker's death and how it has been a big story through the whole entire galaxy for the past year. It's said that the Dark Prince once knew Luke Skywalker when Luke went under a different identity and a different name for many of his personal missions with R2-D2, where Luke went by the name of Coral Marcus, spelt Korlmarcus. It said that Luke used this secret identity to hide who he really was sometime after the events of Return of the Jedi and even in between episodes 4 and 5. It's described that Luke also used the name for many years during his travels to different worlds to discover Jedi lore well after the events and closer to The Force Awakens, while in other star systems Luke went by his real name. The Dark Prince is said to refer to him as Coral Marcus to Rey, Poe, and Finn, and explains the entire story to them. So let's go over a couple of parts about this. Now, this is a great callback to one of the comic books, by far one of the early canon pieces under Disney. I believe it was back in 2015, where it goes over a story of Luke Skywalker traveling to the world of Deveron. Now, what I like about this is that J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio are paying a lot of attention to not just Legends material, but also to canon material in the forms of canon material such as books, comics, novels, you name it. Now, the name Coral Marcus is said to be Luke Skywalker's secret identity that he used well after the events of Return of the Jedi, as well as in between episodes 4 and 5, right? In between the events of A New Hope and The Empire Strikes Back. So what's really interesting about this is that it's similar to what Rey is going to do, as well as what Obi-Wan Kenobi did on Tatooine, where he called himself Ben Kenobi. You know, you can really see how the whole alias side of things are really going to be a big thing in The Rise of Skywalker, which is very interesting. So the name Coral Marcus, we're not exactly sure why Luke Skywalker even chose that name, but he did, and that's the alias and the new name / secret identity that he actually went under for many of the missions that he went for with R2-D2 to discover many different pieces of Jedi lore after the events of Return of the Jedi as well. So what I like about this is that the Dark Prince actually is said to have once known Luke Skywalker well before the First Order even came into existence. Now, the Dark Prince, like I say, he's basically a loose version of Prince Shizor from the Expanded Universe, except Disney and Lucasfilm using that character in a completely different way. It seems like that this character is more or less a hero or an ally to that of Rey, Poe, and Finn, as opposed to a villain per se. So that's a major difference right now. So with Luke Skywalker actually going under this different name for many years on end, you know, for the events that took place after Episode 6, and especially in between 4 and 5, I like that because it really shows us that Luke Skywalker was very careful about discovering Jedi lore and hiding it from the Empire, you know, in between 4 and 5, and especially, you know, trying to really save as much lore as possible during the infancy of the First Order and the remnants of the Empire. So what I also like about this is that this also allows us to know a little bit more about Luke Skywalker's past and where he has been, who he actually knew, and of course his secret identity that he once used many years ago. And this is also tapping into the current canon material. This name is canon. You know, this name that Luke Skywalker used is a real thing. And what I like about J.J. Abrams paying attention to current canon material is that this is J.J.'s an attempt at really making this film attractive to all Star Wars fans on all different mediums of the franchise. You know, whether you're into books, novels, video games, or the movies themselves, or the animated TV series such as Rebels and the Clone Wars. You know, you can really see how this movie really is going to be a movie that's going to cater to all Star Wars fans, which, by the way, it could be a good or a bad thing. We'll have to wait and see how that's really going to work. I still stand by that this movie is going to be the longest Star Wars film in the Skywalker saga, since Marianne, the editor, has said before in the past that this movie is a big movie. So anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.